Apple is about to do something it has not done in years. And if you're sitting on an older iPhone right now, or even considering the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra or Google Pixel 9 Pro XL, what we are about to cover could completely change how you spend your money in 2025. Because the iPhone 18 Pro Max is shaping up to be one of the most significant upgrades Apple has delivered in half a decade. Not just in raw performance, but in ways that actually matter to how you use your phone every single day. Let us start with price. Early analyst estimates are pointing to a starting price of around $1,299 for the iPhone 18 Pro Max. That is a meaningful number. And whether that investment is justified, we're going to break that down completely by the end of this video. But here is what almost nobody is talking about right now. The single biggest change coming to the iPhone 18 Pro Max is not the chip. It is not the camera. It is the display, and specifically what Apple is planning to do with it that no iPhone has ever done before. Leaks from supply chain sources point strongly toward Apple adopting a full under-display Face ID system on the Pro Max. That means no dynamic island, no cutout at all, a completely clean, edge-to-edge OLED panel with nothing breaking the screen. That changes the entire feel of the device. And for a flagship experience at $1,299, it is exactly the kind of premium build quality shift that makes this feel like a genuine generational leap. Now let us talk about the chip, because this is where the real-world performance story gets very interesting. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is expected to launch with Apple's A19 Pro chip, built on TSMC's second-generation 3nm process. Apple's previous transition from 4 nanometers to first-generation 3 nanometers delivered roughly 18 to 20% single-core gains. Moving to a refined 3 nanometers node is expected to push sustained performance even further, with significantly better thermal efficiency. What does that actually mean for you? If you shoot and edit 4K video on your phone, export times that currently take around 90 seconds on an iPhone 15 Pro Max could fall closer to 60 seconds on the 18 Pro Max. That is a 30+% reduction in a real workflow task you run every single day. For creators and professionals, that is not a small number. Most buyers comparing spec sheets are completely missing this one detail, and it could make or break this purchase for you. Apple is widely expected to introduce a dedicated AI processing cluster inside the A19 Pro chip. This is not the same neural engine architecture they have been iterating on since 2017. This is a purpose-built hardware layer designed specifically to run on-device large language models at speeds that current iPhones simply cannot match. What that means in practical terms, Siri is about to become genuinely useful in ways that feel closer to what you get from third-party AI tools today. Real-time language processing, deep contextual awareness across your apps, and all of it running locally on the device without sending your data anywhere. Google's Pixel 9 Pro XL has been pushing hard on AI-first features. Samsung built Galaxy AI across the S25 lineup. Apple has been playing catch-up in this specific area. The iPhone 18 Pro Max appears to be the moment Apple closes that gap and potentially surpasses it. Here is where things get very interesting when it comes to the camera system. The 18 Pro Max is expected to keep the 48-megapixel main sensor, but pair it with a significantly improved periscope telephoto lens, pushing to a native 5x optical zoom with enhanced stabilization. The bigger leap, though, is in the computational photography engine. Apple is reportedly moving to a new multi-frame processing pipeline that captures and stacks more image data per shot than the current system. In low-light conditions where the iPhone 16 Pro Max already leads most competitors, early reports suggest the improvement could be substantial, especially for video. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is expected to support 4K at 120 frames per second for the first time. The Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra can do this today. Apple is arriving later, But Apple's video color science and file management inside the Apple ecosystem gives it a workflow advantage that pure spec comparisons do not capture. Let us talk battery, because this is the area where the upgrade story gets surprisingly compelling. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is expected to feature a larger battery cell enabled by thinner display components and refined internal layout. Combined with the improved energy efficiency of the A19 Pro chip, analyst estimates are projecting all-day battery life gains in the range of 15 to 20% over the iPhone 16 Pro Max. For context, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is already the longest-lasting iPhone ever made. A 15 to 20% improvement on top of that is genuinely meaningful for heavy users, travelers, and professionals who currently carry a charging cable as a daily essential. Wired charging is expected to remain in the 30-watt range. MagSafe wireless charging could see an increase. These are not confirmed yet, but the battery life story alone is one of the most practical upgrade arguments in this entire device. The benchmark numbers look impressive on paper, but here's what real-world testing dynamics actually reveal when you dig deeper. The iPhone 16 Pro Max is still one of the fastest smartphones available today. Against the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra running Snapdragon 8 Elite, both chips are extremely close in real-world application performance. The gap between this generation and the next is not about raw speed. It is about sustained performance over time and AI-accelerated workloads. That distinction matters enormously for your buying decision. If you're running an iPhone 14 Pro Max or older, this upgrade is a straightforward yes. You're looking at chip improvements across 2 full generations, a display transformation, dramatically better camera capabilities, and AI features your current device simply cannot run properly. If you're on an iPhone 15 Pro Max, the calculus is tighter. The under-display Face ID alone may not justify the spend for most users. But if camera performance, AI workflow tools, or battery life are daily friction points for you, the investment case is real. If you're on an iPhone 16 Pro Max, wait. There is no compelling reason to upgrade right now. Your device will run iOS 19, will support Apple Intelligence features, and performs at a level that will remain premium through 2026 and beyond. Now, let us bring price back into the conversation, because this is where the long-term value argument either holds or falls apart. At an estimated $1,299 starting price, the iPhone 18 Pro Max sits $100 above where the 16 Pro Max launched. That is a real increase. But Apple's software support track record changes how you should think about that number. Apple currently supports iPhones with major iOS updates for 6 to 7 years. If you keep this device for 5 years, you are paying roughly $260 per year, or just over $21 per month, for a flagship smartphone experience that depreciates far more slowly than most Android competitors. The Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra starts at $1,299 as well. The Google Pixel 9 Pro XL comes in at $1,099, a real $200 difference that deserves acknowledgement. For buyers deeply embedded in the Android ecosystem, that gap is meaningful. But for existing iPhone users, switching costs, iCloud integration, AirPods, and Apple Watch compatibility, iMessage, and the overall Apple ecosystem create a retention value that makes cross-platform comparison more complicated than just a price tag. So after covering everything, the display, the chip, the camera, the battery, the AI, and the price, here's who should actually make a move and who should hold off. If you're on an iPhone 13 Pro Max or older, buy this the moment it launches. You are leaving significant performance, camera quality, and long-term AI capability on the table every day you wait. This upgrade will feel transformational. If you're on an iPhone 14 Pro Max, this is a strong upgrade. 2 chip generations, a fundamentally redesigned display experience, and real AI hardware make this a smart long-term investment. If you're on an iPhone 15 Pro Max, upgrade only if battery life, AI features, or the clean display design are genuine priorities for you. Otherwise, hold another cycle. If you're on an iPhone 16 Pro Max, wait for the iPhone 19 Pro Max. Your device is still delivering premium performance and will continue to do so. For professionals, creators, and power users on any device older than 2022, the iPhone 18 Pro Max is one of the most justified flagship purchases Apple has built in years. The combination of display, AI, camera, and battery improvements is not incremental. It is architectural. Before you finalize that decision, though, the is one more piece of this story we have not fully covered yet.